my bees are in a bit of a stir today because I've moved all this around, because last time I inspected it I didn't like it. You were stood in the way the bees were flying in. I think it pissed them off, so I've just totally changed it, and each night I've been turning the hive slightly to spin it round so it's facing, it's going to face this way where that log is, and they'll fly straight out because that's a path they're taking. But I've just ripped it all up, pulled all the bushes about, moved all the pots, put a new way in, so when you go in the back here and you inspect them. But yeah, look, all flying around to where the door used to be. I've not moved them all that in one go. I've moved them each night, like spun them slightly, 3 or 4 inches each night. And then now they'll face the other way. And then I can walk straight in the back here, inspect them. No bother. Yeah, there's loads in there now. They're everywhere, all in the garden. Next door said they go to her dog's bowl and drink and drown themselves. Don't think she's feeding the dog booze. They just drown, they go in the water and drown. That's what that moss pot is. It's just a jug, just a tray with moss and some rocks in, and I'll just keep it tipped with little water, and the bees will drink a whole one of that a day. I'll need a bigger one, I think. Old wooden stone sink or something. Look at them. Just a little update of what I'm up to. Pissing my bees off. They're like this every day when the sun's out. Well, not like that, because they're confused. Look, they're going to the back thinking, what? Where's the door gone? How's the house moved? They're in and out busy with pollen all day normally. To that I like busyness. I have a nice seating area normally, they're not flying up in my face. You can hear the hum. Let's get right close. So that's how it looks now. Lizzie's. Right, a little video update. Someone asked me a question about the internal dimensions of the HappyBee Golden Honey Factory Layens hive. Just show you something quickly. Look, we've got a couple of guests in our window, tribute window there to the Queen and Prince Philip. And Sir David Attenborough popped along to inspect the kitchen. So I thought I'd just give a little update on that. But yeah, I'll measure it right and show you. It's all finished now, just need a lock under here. Just a lock to lock it down. Lifts up. Got a feeder there that I had from my other hive that was a bit big, which will do for this one, but I've not worked out right how I'm going to feed them yet, because I'll take this off, because I've not put no, obviously, the bee space gap between my frames, so I don't know how I'm going to get them up there to feed. I've not worked that one out. Right, let's do this measurements for this, because someone asked. Oh, look, there's, I built my follower board, right? My follower board completely fills the box, so there's no gap at the bottom or nothing. It's probably a few, like 2 mil, so you can slide it in and out. But that's 48 centimeters deep, and it's 36 centimeters across, which is the internals of the box. I'll put that to one side a minute. I'll make these. I'll rip these out of all. It's like Siberian larch. These things are. Some more scrap timber. I've made my follower board. I've put air vents in my follower board. I'll put an observation window in it as well, because I could. Oh look, we pulled out a frame with it. But yeah, I've put air vents in my follower board. I've put 3 at the top, 3 at the bottom, and I'm going to put like Varroa mesh over them, so the bees can't get through. But that fills my follower board. Let's take this frame out. Still lots of sawdust around in this garage. But yeah, I've made my follower board so it fits tight, flush. I'll take more frames out. I'll show you what I mean. And then I'll even get a tape measure and measure it. Because I'm not very good with numbers and stuff. But look, you can see I've got my bee spaces each side. Which I think probably if you get the bee space right, it's probably the important thing, I reckon. I've got a couple of air vents in the bottom, and they've got mesh. They're like right to the bottom, but they've got mesh, and they're through the solid wood that runs along the bottom, so they didn't go through the insulation. I'll put my follower board in and show you what I mean. See, it's a tight fit. No bee is getting past that. Ain't getting under it, ain't getting around it, but it's got the air vents, and ain't getting over it. It's got the air vents. So it really, let's try and set the camera up. Oh, it's a bit tight there. Look, that means my box ain't bloody kosher all the way along. Yeah, right, let's do this. Let's measure this up. Let's put it there. That's in then, you see. It fits nice. You've got your window, so you can see bees that would be living this side from that way. Right, let's measure this. I'll get the properly up against the top to bottom of my hive. 19 inches. You see that? See, on his website it's all in there's metric, isn't there? And I was shit at maths, so right, so it's 19. My box depth is 19 inches, whatever that works out in thingy. It's 488 centimeters, no, millimeters, which is 48 and a half, well, just over 48 and a half centimeters deep, my box. Right, now the width, this is the internal dimensions of the box. Remember, from this lip, this is the internal, and then your frames. So the internal is, I don't think it matters, right, whether it's much difference, whether you have a little bit of difference to Dr. Leo's. I don't think it matters, because as long as you get the bee space and you don't go mental, I think the bees will still just not be too fussed. I'm getting a bit shit here, I can't fucking hold it. Alright. It's difficult. Right. Basically it's 14 and a half inches. That's what it is when you get the tape flat to it. 14 and a half inches, which is 36, yeah, 30, well, it's 36 and a half centimeters, which is 366 millimeters. Well, I'm improving my numbers already. So right, inches is 14, well, no, not 14 and a half, 14 and a quarter inches it would be when you get it flat, which works out at 36 and a half centimeters, which is 366 millimeters. We'll do the depth again. The depth, right, is 19 inches, which is 48 and a half centimeters, which is 485 millimeters. Now I'll do a frame I'll measure one of my frames. I'll just take this one out. My frame, this is from the cutout there, look, leaving my lip. The frames, basically, I made the frames the same as Dr. Leo, I think. Maybe slight difference. 13 inches. Let's turn it round. Not very good, this. Yeah. Well, this tape's a bit shit, but that is a bit right at the top. That's 34 centimeters, just over 34 and a half. It's precisely 347 millimeters. So they probably are a little bit different to Dr. Leo. In depth, let's go from depth. This is a sidebar, one of my sidebars, right? The depth of my sidebar, bang on 17 inches. Dead on the mark, which is 432 millimeters, 43 centimeters, and then 2 millimeters. And then the overall frame with right from the very top of the top bar, because that last measurement went from there, look, which is where it sits on the lip. So right from the top, there's 17, so just over 17 and a quarter inches, 44.1 centimeter, and 441 millimeters. And then I've got a bead gap at the bottom. The gap from the frame to the floor. Gap from the frame to the floor. It's 2 inches in this one. You can't see it. Slightly over 2 inches. But I did say first video, mine's not so fucking precise because I'm crap at measuring and doing stuff like that. But hopefully it'll help. I have got the bee spaces, and if anyone can help me, obviously let's put these frames in. Got all the bits in the frames. So this side's ready. This side's ready. This side's ready to rumble. Give it a hoover out and a little clean. Yeah, this is the problem I'm going to have to see. How am I going to feed my bees through the top if I want to feed them? Leave a frame out because I've not routed a bee space. I've not got a router. Right, I've seen frames which are feeder frames, but yeah, how am I going to feed my bees, people? Help me out on this one. Do I just go and router them? Should I router them? Is that the way to be? Router them. Let's number these to get them back in the right way. There we are. Yeah, I'll just put that one over there, you see, which could be like air vent. And then the feeder just sits on. There's no gaps for the bees to get out. Don't panic, people. They'll all be kept in there. So I just need a lock to lock it down. I need a Hive to Hive it out and put it in the garden. I've done the back windows as well. It's all very grand. Got an eagle up in that window. Oh yeah. I just thought I'd put that up there to show more to it. dimensions of mine, because they're not precise to Leo's. Like in the first video I made, I'll tell you, I'm not very good at that crap. Numbers, measuring. But it's pretty. You got your bee space all the way around. It's probably only a few millimeters out from most of his measurements. I don't know. I hope it'll help you. I think really it don't matter, as long as the box is big enough. They've got a bee space and it's nice and welcoming. Smells like bees. They'll be in it. And we'll see when this one goes up or out. We need an articulated lorry with a 20-ton Hive with a long reach to get this one out. It's a beast. Hope you enjoyed.